It's what kind of guitar? Acoustic?
I have a Martin acoustic. Are we doing? Are we rolling now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
The natural interview. It's good.
Welcome to Creating with Purpose.
So
Thank you so much for coming. I am so excited to have you here also because I was your student and I know how creative you are. Like we were doing monologues and you were just like thinking about shots for like 20 people.
Yeah.
You were very creative and then like I was like, oh my god, this guy is very creative like visually. But also then I realized that you're also a musician and
Yeah.
you're also a producer. So how does your mind works? Like I don't.
Well, you know what's cool about TFS when you guys were students there is like, I always love that class because during the first half of the like film production and like term 6, you're like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of the creative and coming up with that and be just guiding like a guide, but setting up shots, doing all that stuff. But what I love is the transition that happens like halfway through where all of a sudden the students start to take over. And then by the end of the class, I'm just kind of more sitting back than I am like doing what you're saying. But I also dig what I always tell those TFSers is like, you never stop learning, right? Like sometimes like a student will set up the shot and they'll be like, try this and my shot's better, right? But often the opposite happens and it's usually during that last half of the term. But I love when I set up a shot and then a student comes in and they're like, try this. And something I'd never have thought of. And then I'm like, okay, not only is your shot better, but when I'm on production for something in the future, I remember certain shots that they came up with and then I go in that direction and I use it forever moving forward. So you never stop learning, right?
Yeah. Did you ever know that you wanted to do this?
No. I got during COVID, Matt McDonald, who teaches voiceover there. You had Matt, right?
Yeah.
We were classmates in the program, right? So I went as a mature student back to school. And I thought it's gonna be the worst. Like
What were you doing before?
musician,
Okay.
yeah, and filmmaking and stuff. But I was like, I'm gonna be like everyone's gonna be like 18 years old. I'm gonna be like like grandpa, like grandpa styles.
Of course not.
And then I get there and there was like an 80-year-old 75-year-old grandmother that was at the orientation. She had like blue hair and I remember she stood up and I was all nervous and she stood up and she's like, let's do this thing. And I remember going, it's gonna be okay. And then when I actually got to TFS within half an hour, I'm like, oh, I'm with my people. Like I'm with where I'm supposed to be, right? So Matt and I were in the same class together and we were both keeners in the program. Like Matt almost more so than me, definitely. But we were always in class like right in it, like committed to it. And so COVID hit when we graduated, then COVID hit, and then Matt started working there. And Hart Massey, the program director, sent me a message or gave me a call and he said, how do you feel about coming to like be an assistant for like couple of years and then maybe start teaching and you can eventually get your own classes. And I remember saying to Hart, I've told this story before, but I was like, oh Hart, that's like what an incredible opportunity, like that's so nice of you. Yeah, no thanks. And Hart was like, what? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I'm gonna be a teacher? Like I'm like, no. I was scared, to be honest, of the idea. And Hart goes, I think you'd be really good at it. I'm sending you the paperwork. And I'm like, Hart, no, I really don't want to. He goes, see you later, buddy. And then hung up.
Really?
And then I called my mom and I'm like, I think I just got a job that I didn't apply for. And then I was at TFS two weeks later as Ingrid Hart's assistant.
Wow.
And Ingrid was like, Hart not only was right that it was a good opportunity and I enjoyed it. There's a couple things, like being in Ingrid's class was like taking a master class in acting because she's one of the best acting teachers I've ever seen. Every week I was in this class just like and learning so much about the craft of acting and filmmaking. But also, one thing I love about TFS is that the energy from the students uh, gives me energy, you know? Like, and it's just this big thing where it's just like, you know, like all things in life, you have ups and downs with going to school or teaching or whatever. But in the end, it's all positive and this positive energy, and you learn every time I walk in the doors there. I'm laughing my head off, but more importantly, I'm learning and I'm being inspired by these actors.
I want to know
That's cool.
more also about your music career.
Okay, yeah.
Wait till you laugh.
No, I just I don't really talk about the music stuff at TFS as much, but
Yeah, that's why I'm so intrigued. But we were hearing at your music, and I want to know, did you like, have you ever done it, or like, how did you discover?
in high school, I made friends. I moved to a new city to live with my grandparents as a teenager, and I was at this high school and kind of made friends with all the goths. You know, everyone's dressed in black at behind the school, and I'm like, yes, and I became friends with them. They were musicians, so I became singer in a band, and then just spent my whole life on tour, playing in bands, opening for really big bands, and then selling out 1,000 seat venues myself.
Wow.
And then this just went on and on and on for years. So I've always been, when I was younger, I was into theater and doing television commercials and acting classes and acting workshops for kids. And then I just became a musician for basically my whole life. I needed to learn how to make my own music videos. So I knew some filmmakers, and that's how I started getting into filmmaking. Just being on sets and then learning how to edit and learning about lighting and lenses and then just doing it more and more, and then shooting short films, and it sort of morphed into music on this side, filmmaking on that side.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also do songwriting?
Yeah, that's what I do, is write all the music for the bands. I mean, we did a lot of co-writing with at the time, but now I'm just solo, right? So
Do you think art has to be personal?
that art has to be personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to. I had a lot of trouble. I've always found it easy to write music, and to record and all that stuff. But I always had a lot of trouble with the lyrics, and just recently, because I have a new album coming out in this year, I had to learn how to. I think you have to connect to the music. It's easy to connect to it, but with the words, it was more difficult for me. Mm-hmm. And so I started doing this thing where I recommend it for everybody. I saw it on YouTube. It's about journaling. So you just, the first thing you do when you wake up is you set an alarm clock for 10 minutes and a timer, and then you just write random whatever comes to mind. It could be really artistic and artsy, or it could just be I feel like getting some bubble gum today. It doesn't have to be anything.
Yeah.
But you just write random. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, after doing this for a month even, everything just starts to free up, and the words are just coming out like a waterfall now. So the lyrics on this new album are, for the first time I think ever, are saying exactly what I want to say, and they're speaking the words that I feel on the inside. So I'm connected to it for the first time, not just the music but the words. So
what do you want people to take from this new album? Or to feel?
What do I want them to feel? Well, I think with this album, I'd like to have more people than just my mom and my aunties hear it. I'd like to have more people, maybe. Again, it'd be nice. That would be nice, but
I'm sure.
So, I just want people to be inspired in the way I am when I hear I just heard there's this cool program in Los Angeles that I just came across on TikTok, and it's a live radio station, internet radio station, But what they do is they have different hosts, and I found this one host. Her name's Lila. They're based out of Los Angeles, and all they do is play indie music and unknown musicians. So you submit your songs for free, or you can like skip ahead for $5 or whatever. But you hear all this new music that's independent, and it's people from all over the world, from like Colombia, literally, everywhere you can imagine, every country. And you're just hearing all this music, and it's all genres, and it's not even finished products, like a lot of demos, like things that aren't released. But anyway,
Full of inspiration.
that's my point. So I just heard this band from England called Moody Moody, and I've on the way here today, I'm listening to it, and even as I'm walking down the street, you can feel, you know, when you get the goosebumps from a new band that freaks you out completely.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to feel when my music comes out, hopefully, you know?
Also because music is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Since you are very young, music is closer with you. I don't.
Oh, you
I
don't?
hear music. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people do because, But I can imagine like a world without music, right? Or it's just like the music in films is a very important part of it.
Absolutely.
Do you feel that your background in music has like nourished your acting somehow or vice versa?
Well, that's a good question. I've never been asked that. Because I spent so many years on stages in front of large groups of people. And also actually some of the toughest shows were the small ones, like where
Why?
There's almost more pressure when there'd be like 10 people compared to 1,000. Like, but I spent so much time on stage that I had to learn a couple of things. But the difference between music and acting is in music, obviously, in performing, it's like theater acting, almost like throwing it out there. The energy needs to go out.
Yeah.
And with camera acting, obviously, it's the opposite. And you need to bring it inwards, and you need to express the same feeling and emotions, but not in the same way, right?
Oh.
So I had to unwire myself on how to be an actor on camera, and it's totally a different thing. Even though the emotions are the same, like the feelings are the same, like what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Music and film make you feel the same way.
Yeah.
So, but it also gave me playing in bands gave me confidence as an actor. Acting, as you know, as an actor yourself, is it's an internal battle of this. Like you have this confidence that you're constantly battling this confidence within yourself, like whatever it might be. Like, am I good enough, or did I suck, or this and that?
Yeah.
But it's all just part of the process, you know?
How do you deal with in those moments?
TFS taught me, like in the training, I remember it was term 4. I don't know if you had this in school, but had like a breakout moment in audition class with Andrew Moody. And it was where all that the training helps. But it was like this one moment where it all kind of came together in this monologue, which was cool. It was like the assignment was watch a movie that you haven't seen and pick the scene, and then but don't watch the movie and do the scene. And then once you're finished, go back and watch the scene in the movie and see the difference between what you did and what the actor in the movie did. And totally different, right? And every actor would come up with a different way of doing it. But the training just gave me this one moment where it was like all came together, where I felt for the first time it hit that, oh, I'm doing this properly.
You felt it.
I felt it. And then not only that, but you see it on camera that you're like, oh, I'm not acting, I'm being, which was a cool moment. And that moment gave me confidence to work forwards.
Yeah.
And you're not, just because it happens once, you're not suddenly this amazing actor. Like, it's like
No, you're capable.
Right? And you sort of understand the process of getting there, right?
Yeah.
Am I talking too much?
No, this is for you to talk.
Okay.
Oh my God, no. This is for you to express like actually thank you so much for being like so generous with your knowledge and your experiences. Also, I wanted to ask you because well, failure is part of life, but sometimes we tend to to see failure as something bad, and I feel like I come to realize that failure is like feedback and can come with lots of great learnings. So
yeah.
what's your most beautiful failure?
Beautiful failure. That's good. I just heard a quote that was similar to that just the other day. It was something that, and I can't remember who said it now. Something that failure on your own terms is better than success on someone else's, right?
No.
And but most beautiful failure I think was during COVID. My ex and we broke up right when it hit, literally the week, and so she moved out because we didn't know I don't know where you were during COVID.
I was in Colombia.
You're in Colombia, so it was the same thing was happening everywhere. Yeah. But we didn't know what was going to happen with. We thought maybe the city would be locked down, and her parents live outside of the city, so they got a convoy.
Where you living in Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah. And they picked her up and her sisters, and they moved out. And so suddenly I was alone by myself. And I think the combo of what was happening in the world and the breakup, and then I started not taking care of myself. I was drinking a lot of beer and like not eating properly and not leaving the apartment. I didn't see another human for like 8 months, right? And
you don't realize how important it is to talk to people until you can't.
It's crazy. Right? And I'm a lone wolf and a hermit. Yeah. I like being alone, but that was a different kind of alone, right? Yeah. And so anyway, I was walking to the shower one day. I remember I walked by a mirror and I looked at myself and I looked like a Dr. Seuss character, skinny little chicken legs and a big belly, and I was like looks so unhealthy, and I went, okay, no, we're shutting this down, right? And so and I hadn't played music. The guitar was sitting there, and it was something from like depression, and like as a lot of people were, and I just made that one choice where I kind of hit rock bottom, and then said no more, and so started taking care of myself. Started like eating better, not drinking as much beer, working out. The biggest thing was looking at that guitar, which had just been sitting there every day, like looking at me going, come on, buddy. And I picked it up, and I remember playing, within 10 minutes, I'd written Revelry, the song that just came out. And it came out in 15 minutes. And after that moment, it was like, just sometimes you get lost and you lose your way, and you can be overwhelmed and let all these things overtake you. And also you have fear of success sometimes, or a fear to start. That's the worst part, is starting, right? Yeah. And then once you start, then you can't stop. But it's like overcoming this thing. Like some people burn bright fast and other people are slow burn, so it takes longer, but it's on an upward trajectory that is lasting. Yeah. And I'm one of those kind of people. The biggest fault though is having to make everything perfect. This has to be perfect, that has to be perfect, I'm not going to do this, I'm gonna like, and you get so caught up in that, all of a sudden you look and time has passed, and sometimes years, and you're like, I haven't done anything because I'm waiting for everything to be perfect. And so I think the biggest thing I've learned from failure is things are never perfect, ever. Yeah. It's like you want to get married. We can't get married until this happens or that or you want to have children, or you want to go travel, whatever it is you want to do. I want to be an actor. I want to start my acting career. It's like nothing's ever going to align perfectly, ever. It's not the way it works. So you just got to do it. And then once you start, that's when everything aligns, right?
Yeah. Are you an introvert? Because you told me that you enjoy being alone.
Introvert, extrovert. So like I'm like I mean I live alone. I spend all my time alone, and I went to my family cottage this summer for five. I was there for 5 weeks in the wilderness with a guitar, and I realized that I could easily never come back to Toronto. I could just live out there and never come back.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And I want to ask you this question, like, because especially like in the film industry, there's a lot of meetings, a lot of network.
Yeah.
How do you deal with those events when your social battery is low, but you have to?
You know, it's TFS really helped me with that because like obviously playing in bands was the same sort of thing. Like you're always around a lot of people.
Yeah.
But with TFS, when you're forced to be somewhere as a student and then as a teacher and deal with all these different personalities and you know, I don't know if it's like this for you, but the energy that it takes to do that, and to deal with those many personalities and to have to be like be pushing people up, like building foundation as a teacher, like
Yeah.
you're building the foundations and you're and I love it. Like I love being around it.
Yeah.
But the thought of doing it, like even when I was in say Montreal this weekend for a work trip for a film that I'm working on, it's like just thought of going is overwhelming. I find it like almost exhausting, where I'm like on the couch just kind of like this up until the last minute, and then I go and it's awesome.
Right?
And then I get home, but it's also a crash and burn. I find that even just like small things like meeting a friend for drinks or going for dinner, it really is overwhelming to me. It's almost like the buildup is worse than the actual, and then you go and it's great.
Yeah.
But then my energies are back to like, you know,
But you have to recharge.
recharge.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
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 Also, how did you get the opportunity to work on this film?
So I'm working on this National Film Board film, stop motion movie, big budget, and it happens that it's funny you're talking about introvert stuff. There was a friend of mine was her sister was having a birthday, and she asked me if I would play this backyard party. And I was immediately overwhelmed by it. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just want to stay home and play guitar at home and be alone, not see humans. And so she forced me to do it. Turned out to be awesome. I lit up the whole backyard with LED lights. It was like 150 people, packed, great time. And this director was there, Terrell Calder. And I had worked on some films for her in the past, like many years ago as an actor, doing voiceover. But I hadn't seen her for years.
Yeah.
And she was there and she said, what are your lighting skills like? And I had a couple of lines at that point, and I'm like kind of a big deal. But I was like, and anyway, she called me the next day and said, so I want to talk to you more about this film. And I remember going, oh my God, what did I say last night? So we did pre-production for her film. She's got these, I can't even explain how cool these, she's got these like 7 sets. They're about like this big.
Oh.
And they've been building them for like 6 months now.
Yeah.
They're so realistic that when you stick your head in one of the sets and you look, it looks real. They have, like even they have a piano and every key plays, like it's like details like
Wow.
big and small. And another interesting thing about the set is that I was talking about this last week with her, is it's so real and so visceral that you can smell, like it's almost smell the fireplace. You can smell the wood of the walls. You can, and then, but they're phantom smells. They don't exist. And she was saying that another team member had mentioned that, and they were talking about that the week before I brought it up. But it's like, there's no smell on the sets. It's all in your mind
Yeah.
because it's so realistic, right? Anyway, National Film Board loved the work we did, and then it just went from there. And so we start. It's 10 months of production, which is stop motion is crazy because like the dolls have muscles that move and they breathe and their eyes blink and like and so I go in say to light one set and then she shoots for 6 days like 10 hours a day and then that captures like 10 seconds
No.
and then I go in
Really-
light up the next set and she shoots for so it's like absolutely because I said yes to a party and I went and then and now I'm in this production.
Yeah, you got the opportunity.
Yeah, because I didn't stay home in the dark playing my guitar.
Sometimes it's good to lift hope, guys, please. I'll take your advice.
Exactly. You know, I can't remember if I told you guys when you were students, but did you ever read the Jenna Fisher book?
No.
You know, The Office?
Yeah.
Pam?
Yeah.
She wrote a book that, like I've read a lot of good acting books, a lot of boring acting books. This is one of my favorites because it's like, she wrote a book about like being a hotshot in college and then moving to LA and being like toiling for 8 years as a pretentious actor. And like, not pretentious, but she would be like always in her basement apartment reading Backstage magazine and sending out headshots, but not being actively involved in things and not saying yes to things.
Yeah.
And she had a roommate that was like sweeping floors in a theater kind of thing. And then he joined a troupe and then he was getting auditions. And it's all about I think she said be a joiner. So a vague part is saying yes to things. And if you're an introvert, that's hard to do that, right? But once you do it, it is so soul fulfilling, like, and
it becomes easier,
it becomes easier,
right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Wow. What is the thing you're proudest of?
Also, one other cool thing that about Jenna Fisher is she was saying she did this audition for something and it was not for her. And I teach this in producing directing. It's like how to, when you're an actor, how to, you know, Bryan Cranston and De Niro talk about how to audition properly, let it go, not go in trying to get a job, like all this kind of stuff. She didn't get the role. And 2 years later, the casting director for that film that she did not get became the casting director for The Office.
Wow.
She always remembered Jenna Fisher, who was not right for that role, but was like when Pam Beesly came up, she's like Jenna Fisher, and so she got the role. It's a good lesson as an actor to realize, you know, there's so many variables in why you don't get roles, right? Which is 95% of the time, and it's never personal. It's not because of your quality or talents. It's a million things that decide whether you get a role or not. And just because you didn't get it, that casting director might have loved you and might hire you down the road.
So true. Like actually yesterday we were at a meeting where someone was talking about like focus on what you can control instead of what you can't. You can't control the projection. You can't control if someone thinks you're good or not for the role, but you can control when you do, right? You can control the work. You can control the yes, right? The discipline that you have.
Absolutely.
And you just go there with generosity and bring what you have to bring to the table, and then you let it go because, yeah, you never know, right?
You let it go.
Yes, yeah.
And that's how you know, and like a friend of mine.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a process. Like it takes a long time to do what you just said.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
A friend of mine was like, another thing was like, every time he came out of an audition, he'd be like, I killed it. I was amazing. Never gets it. And then the audition that he watched out, he's like, I'm a piece of human garbage. Like he gets the call and gets the role, right? So
No, yeah. That happens. Yeah. Finally, what is the thing you're proudest of now?
in the arts or in life?
In general.
well, what I'm most proud of has nothing to do with any of this stuff. Is when I was a kid, my drummer and I met when we were kids, and so her kids are my godchildren. And then when they were little, like my goddaughter, I picked her up from school like 3-4 times a week for 10 years, right? So they're really involved with their childhood. And I never was a father. I always wanted to be a father, but it just never happened that way for me. But what happened with being a third guardian with these kids is, one, I got to kind of experience them from being babies to, like, I remember talking to my niece, my goddaughter, like when she's on the couch like you, but she's a little baby, and just talking to her like an adult, even from the get-go. Like, I'd be like, what are you looking at, baby? You got a problem, baby? You know, stuff like that. Yeah. And then she just, as her and her brother got older, I was able to experience that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So although I wasn't a parent, I got to experience the whole process of this being around kids and how much I love being a crazy uncle, you know? And
that's so beautiful. They're gonna remember you for sure. Like,
that's what I'm most proud of is that. And also, I do have to say though, although I've not experienced what it's like to have your own child, there is something to be said about being the crazy uncle. And then at nighttime when their kids are going crazy, I'm moonwalking out of there like, see you later. I go, going to the pub for a pint. So
yeah. You're the cool one.
Yeah. So it's kind of got the best of both worlds in a way.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you so much for. Well, first, before saying bye, I need to ask for your tattoo.
Oh,
so cool.
I just got this like about 6 months ago. He's a guy in Toronto, amazing guy. Under my thumb tattoo. It's has to do with I'm from the Northwest Territories, and a connection to ravens and spirituality and all that kind of stuff. So
wow,
yeah,
so cool. We will take a picture in case you couldn't see it, guys. But thank you so much for being here.
So much.
Thank you so much for coming with this weather, which is crazy. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So nice.
Oh my god. I actually, wow. What kind of bird is it? Oh.